Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be doing my build profile on Furina because she is a recent, or an upcoming banner I should say, an upcoming rerun alongside Siegeween coming up soon. Not as soon as the Elden Ring DLC though, that's tomorrow, this is a couple of days. So starting off, I have like some really high stats. I don't even know how it reached this. Like when we take a look at my artifacts, it's like they are like all insanely bad. Like these numbers could be actually like, if I had decent artifacts, like she would easily have like 85 over like 240 or some crazy numbers like that. But this isn't that bad. Even like HP, everything is like pretty solid except for energy recharge. She's like the worst for energy recharge, so you gotta have something with her for that. For her weapon, we have her signature weapon, of course, at 90, maxed out, because crit damage, and it also increases HP, skill damage, and there's a lot of text here. It's all stuff that helps her, of course. It's made specifically for her, and her HP modulations and whatnot, and yeah, it's pretty much what it does. For her artifact set, we run 4-piece golden trope because she's mainly focused on her skill, her elemental skill, and it just boosts skill damage and then increases it again, and then if she's off field it increases it again, because she's not actually going to be on the field that much. She's going to be off field with her skill out, and just you're going to be doing your thing with your other characters, and she's kind of just going to be chilling with her homies running about. Now my artifacts are like terrible. Like this is terrible. This didn't roll into crit at all. It's like, but I don't think I had like anything else. And it had like attack and HP, which is like better than like defense, but not really better than like energy recharge. But it's like it was just good enough. And then this one's insane. This one rolled all into crit damage. This one's just absolutely like bonkers. It has a crit rate on it, and it went like nearly 80. I think probably one of those is elemental mastery. I think that's why it's 42. I don't think that's 42 like off the bat. And then this one's pretty decent. This one I think I had 2 rolls into crit, or 1 roll into crit damage, and then it was just all pretty good. And then this is like garbage, and then this is like garbage as well. But like at least like the substats are like not defense. This one has defense, but it like didn't roll into it. At least the substats were like more helpful than nothing. So that's cool because she relies on so many different things. But yeah, these artifacts are terrible. Like this number could be crazier if I gave it the time, but I just don't feel like it. It's pretty solid as is. Why would I go out of my way? I don't even actually use her that much, sadly. I have her at C1, but C1 doesn't matter in the slightest. So I think like you need like, I don't know, like for the best possible one. I don't remember because I don't believe in like a 5 stars full potential being at like C3 or something like that. Like it's just kind of insane to think about. Like in like a year you're probably gonna replace that character. In a couple of months you're probably not gonna use them that much. So it's like, you know, I wouldn't bother with stuff like that. Everything just keeps moving forward. I wouldn't optimize too much in one thing, you know, so early on in its lifespan. But it's bound to get replaced in the nature of these kinds of games. But I got C1 because I was wishing at work for fun, and I was like, guys, what banner should I wish on? And they said Furina, and I got Furina C1. For her talents, so her normal attack, she has, you know, of course she has the Osea and Numa. It switches off, so you can. She doesn't actually have like a charge attack. It just changes her stance, and when she changes stances, her first normal attack, well, I can upgrade it. Her first normal attack will do Osea or Numa, whichever you've changed into, alongside her, you know, normal attack. But it also, when her stance changes, it also affects her skill. So her skill has 2 things. This looks like much more than two things, but stay with me. It has two stances. So one stance is her healing stance, which we don't ever use. Never use that. Don't ever heal with Furina. If you're in co-op, maybe you heal, but if you're solo, you go for pure damage. You take out the enemy. You don't ever worry about that. If I catch any of you using a healer Furina, I'm going to your house, and I'm taking all of your left side shoes. It's over for you. Like I don't ever want to see a healer Furina unless you're using Furina in a co-op dungeon of some kind, domain, and you're healing me specifically. Then it's like maybe okay, maybe I'll leave you alone, but don't ever do it. And the important stance is her DPS. So she summons 3 little homies, and they have funny ass names. I love these guys. One of my favorite playstyles is the summoning homies mechanics, and just keeping them about. Like it's just so fun. It's just so cool. That's one thing I really liked about Elden Ring, and one thing I liked about like Ratchet and Clank. Like you just have this random ability that's just summoned homies. It's so fun. It's so cool. And so we've got Gentle Home Usher, and we got Superintendent, Cheval Marine, and the best one of all time, we have Mademoiselle Crabaletta, which is absolutely beautiful. And we have Singer of Many Waters. That's the healer. We don't mention that one. So there's a crazy amount of text here. Basically, you summon them out. You summon out the DPS ones. They slowly like eat up your active character's HP, and they like get stronger. And that's like basically all you need to know. That's all that's important. Like you don't have to read all this. Like you summon them out, they take your HP and they do damage. They do good damage. They're Hydra application, of course. They're little goats. They're not actually goats. Like a seahorse and a crab, but like you get the picture I'm trying to paint. Next up is her burst, and again, there's a lot of text here, but to summarize shortly, you use her burst, and you want as much HP as possible. Her whole thing is about HP, and she buffs your team. She buffs them in terms of damage, or she can buff them in terms of like how much they're getting healed. Like we've just went over, no healing Furinas around here. She is buffing their damage, and that's all I ever want to see. And then this one, if an active character gets healed by an outside means that's not Furina, then she heals like someone else. And this one, more HP, more damage. So remember, HP. And yeah, cooldown by 30%. Xenochromatic Fontamer Aberrant. I don't even remember what that is, but she does that because she's okay. So there's a couple of different ways I can showcase Furina. She's obviously, as you can see, we've got a little team here. I threw together a team because it's weird to showcase a support character. Like obviously the main character in this team is Raiden Shogun, but Furina certainly helps out. But if I went into she's a very strange character because she plays so differently in different like aspects. So like in a team, she's just gonna be using her skill, waiting for her burst to charge up, and then buffing you with her burst, and doing a bunch of Hydra damage and stuff like that. So she can be your main Hydra applicant. We'll have these guys running around. Oh, it's not what it looks like, bro. I swear. So yeah, in your team, she can be your main Hydra applicant, like constantly like throwing it on because there's 3 of them doing it. She can be your healer. She can be your buffer. Like there's so much to her. Like, and if you go into co-op, she uses like all of that at the same time. It's kind of insane. Like if you go into like a weekly boss or something with Furina, or like domain farming, like you're insane because you're just gonna be sitting there. Like you're gonna have to be like keeping an eye on your teammates. You're gonna have to be like using your charge attack to switch up your stances. It's like you're gonna have to heal them, and like the healing one doesn't move. Like it kind of just stays there. So you have to like run towards it. You have to bring it to them, and there's like a time limit. You have to like switch to the it's you gotta have a very, very high IQ to play Furina in co-op. It's insane. I was thinking about doing that, but like it also doesn't bring out the full effect of her artifact set. So increases it by 25%, and then additionally, when not on the field, a further 25%. So you missed out on that second bit, and it kind of sucks if you're playing her in co-op for that reason. But other than that, like, I mean, like, it's a kind of a hit, but like, whatever. I forgot to get burst before we went in here for everyone, but there's a riding shogun thing. We should be okay.
Now that's more like it.
Dude, like, she needs so much energy recharge. It's kind of insane. That's her biggest issue, is that she doesn't quite have the energy recharge that one would desire.
Spare your energy. Running, no turning back. Inazuma shines eternal. Have a taste of purgatory.
I hate Arlecchino because she starts running around doing all this extra stuff. I have to switch to healer.
Strike.
But our damage is good.
Is it my turn now?
See, what I said earlier doesn't count because this is Arlecchino and you have to have a healer, and I forgot about that. So healer Furina is like okay here. I don't want to use her burst, but
Torn to oblivion. Not bad.
Fight.
You've proven to be a worthy opponent.
Let's skip this cutscene. No, he's a trick I developed. That attack is like so tricky to try and dodge. I just use a random burst, and it works out. I didn't even know that everyone else has their burst.
Glory to the Shogun! Now you shall perish!
But yeah, these guys, little homies, like their damage is insane, and they pick fights like madmen. Like they would just randomly walk up to like they're so fun to explore with because they just walk up to an enemy that's like kind of far from you, and they just like beat them up. They just like destroy them without a chance. Because you know, obviously they're not real. They're like enemies won't target them. They're not like Baron Bunny or something where they're like a distraction. Like they just exist, sort of. So like they start beating up the enemies, and the enemies aggro onto you. But you're so far that like they're barely gonna move, and these guys are just gonna finish them off. And here's another cool thing. I don't know if anyone knows this. Let me reapply them. Alright, so put them on, and then that was the worst possible place I could have gone because it doesn't show here. All right, so we have them active, and then we go underwater, and of course there's no enemies nearby. All right here. They just pull up in the water and they start fighting. It's so like insane. Like obviously you'd have to like leave the water and come back to like reapply them, but they fight in the water. That's so cool. Like, I don't know why they do that. I don't know who randomly was like, oh yeah, let's have them do that. Like, but it's so cool. Like the fact that they work underwater. So yeah, it's gonna be it for this Furina profile, and yeah, that's basically it. I don't think there's a lot I would like to speak to about Furina. I don't really like her as a character, but like I really like her playstyle and everything else around her. I really like, but yeah, that's basically it. I really enjoy playing as her. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video to help you out. if you learned something. 'Cause I know you definitely learned something. I know. I haven't seen anyone talk about how our little homies beat up people underwater. And remember, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.